Let's go, baby. A bomb, a paste, a rub, a cream. Bug, how's it going, man? Milosh, how's it going? Holy shit, long time no see. MX, how's it going, man? Fish down, dark jack. Okay, shred, rip, ram jack. Fuck. You're 3 minutes early, you lied to us about time. I know, wild Milosh, crazy. Don't have my food yet, just keep streaming? What did I do, Milosh? Fuck you. Goat, fish, ram, animals, yolk. Fuck. I'm not gonna get it. There's a chance, boys. One chance and a dream. One chance and a dream. Shred, rip, jack, down. Damn it. Damn. Queen, how's it going? We'll react to the we'll react to the trailers before I start reading because I know you have to go to bed soon. So senior elder, shade dark, elder old dark, damp. Dark. Try minute cryptic. I don't know what that is, but I'll give it a shot. Difficult. Dark. Black. Morgan Freeman. Old black Morgan Freeman. If anyone doesn't get the joke. What do you mean racist? What? I'm sorry, do you not know who Morgan Freeman is? I heard you read the first 100 chapters years ago. Loki wasn't my thing. They introduced cultivation. I don't know. I'm not okay. Let's try your thing. Minute cryptic, you said. Minute cryptic. There's a new one I wanted to check out too, by the way. Oh. Bug, do you know who Destiny is? Most of rappers remixed beat rocks. Wait, how does this work? Type in a word or clue to add, or type to add letters. Drag them around to explore wordplay. Try the anagram wheel to see what jumps out. Anagram wheel? No? He's a political commentator. I saw him playing this exact game yesterday. That's why I asked. Remixed beats rocks. Most rappers remix beats rock. You found this through? Oh, you found this through online. Okay. Punk. Show indicators. This clue indicators are most of a remix. One of these is a selection indicator, guiding us to select only some of the letters in the neighboring fodder. The other is an anagram indicator. I don't understand the game. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's something that famously got it. Something that famously beats rock. Okay, that's not bad. That's not 1 over par for my first one. That's not horrible. I don't know how clues and stuff work. So I'll do 2 clues. Is that, I don't know, is that good? Oh, 1 hint is no par. I see. I feel like if I saw that one first, I would have won. This was the one I saw yesterday. You have to cut the shape perfectly in half. What's the song? It's a Lies of P OST called Someday. Shit! You need to get within 2. So the max you can be out is 52-48, and then you'll win. But I lost this one. Fuck! Shit! Damn it, a little bit more south. Already did today's puzzles. Fuck. It's the daily puzzle. Wait to move. Here?
Écoute mon cœur, je t'attendrai même si j'ai mal au cœur pour que tu puisses entendre ma petite voix. Je t'attendrai. Je t'attendrai.
What the fuck is this move? Why would I bother? Huh? What? By the way, if I say so myself, I feel like my hair looks really good today. It's like, it's getting up there. It's getting just close to long enough. We're so close. I feel like my hair looks good today. Is that Texas? No, not quite, buddy. The rare self-glaze, yes. Well, no one else in the community is nice to me, okay? So I have to do it. Bug and Chris may be the only ones. And Bug, it depends on the day, honestly. Here, 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 yeah. Lifting you up just means that when I pull you down it hurts more. Yeah, fuck you too, buddy. Fuck you too. There's something easy here. Come on. This. This? Fuck. No, the rook! Idiot! Can't go here because then he'd go here. But then I go here. Protected by this. Can't go here. Can't go here. I think that's it, yeah. Here. 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 Okay, today's honestly anything post 20 is a good run. Today's a good run. Yeah, I'm at 21 with 2 downs, but this is not horrible. Here. Here, 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 here. Fuck! Alma, how's it going? Rucksack? What? Okay. So my session went pretty good. My D&D session, for anyone's wondering, went pretty good. My first session was basically me in like a dock city. I think Bayam or something. I think Bayam, and I'm like taking on contracting missions and shit. As part of that, as part of that, I had to do like a bodyguard mission for someone. That happened because at some point when I got offered a mission to I go here, he takes. So I got offered a mission to go hunt for a monster on Oravi Island, I think. But then what happened there was I got hit with a fucking unskippable side quest. Is a perfect reason for that. What the fuck? And so as a result of that, I went to like a dock, and then when I went to the dock, my fucking money got stolen. Cringe shit. He can't take, by the way, because of this. So it's just free for me. I'm being spoiled for a group session. No, I'm not, bro. No, I'm talking about my session. I haven't spoiled anything, okay? And then I got I got my wallet stolen as soon as I landed. So then I was like hella broke, so I couldn't afford to go, you know, to a stay at a hotel. So I just kind of ended up wandering, trying to find the guy who stole my shit. And then while that happened, I was like, okay, well, I'm poor as fuck and I need some money. So I go to like a Beyonder gathering I find, and I say like, okay, and I try to see if there's anyone who needs like a bodyguard or, you know, any kind of help that I can do to get paid because I'm poor. And then while I'm waiting on to hear some kind of feedback on that, so while I do that, there's a lady who needs like a bodyguard mission because some pirates are like threatening her or some shit. Fucking dickhead. Fuck, this is what you're doing to me, Uth. Fuck you. Damn you. I'm losing because of you. And so she needs a bodyguard because it's like pirates are like harassing her. So I decide like, okay, I'll protect her for some money. I think it's like 45 pounds or whatever because I was poor. And then so I help her, protect her, find the pirate who was harassing her, beat the shit out of him. I like knock him out and then like put him to sleep in like an alley so that it just looks like he's a tramp just wandering. But then I can't push because then he can go here. Yeah, that's okay. And then when that's done, I just decide like, okay, now I'm kind of free, so let me just go ahead and no, stop making everything so sexual. God, this is the problem with your generation. Everything is all sex. Ugh. Bro, I need this. I need this. Because then I need this fucking bishop to get the fuck out of here. Can't take this now because of this. What the fuck? And then, so once everything's done, I just decided like, okay, now I have a bit of time. So let me go ahead and Fuck, I can't even go there. Fucking threatening. This is so cringe. Let's just go here. And then, so I send her off, and then I find the guy who stole my shit, but then he gets away because he's like a sailor or some shit, and he just jumps into the docks. So, like, whatever. And then, as I'm leaving to go off to get on my ship, I hear, I get a note in my, I get my wallet back magically. And then, in my wallet, I find a note that says, don't go to what's that fucking island that got nuked? I can't remember the name. Don't, because that's where I'm supposed to go, and I got a message that said like don't go there. I was like, oh, interesting. Bansi, yeah. So I got like a message that said don't go to Bansi, and I was like, oh, the blood chickens, and then that was it. That's kind of cringe, though. I didn't see that. So I take, he takes. I block. I have time. But I really don't have anything else. I'm hoping he sees this. Yeah, he does. Okay, cool. Fuck! No! 2 seconds! Fuck! If I'd just gone the other way, I would have had enough time. Fuck! Oh, that's so frustrating. 2 seconds, you fucking piece of shit. Oh, that was such a bad game. And I almost won at the end. Almost won with all reliable. What the fuck did I spoil you on, bug? God, get out of here. Alright, we're gonna try to go to like, I think 405 they said was the next spot. So we'll try to go to like 405, okay? Okay. Some of the citizens of Trier were curious and began asking for the reason behind the commotion while others watched with excitement. Lumen couldn't discern who was genuinely enjoying the prank and who was simply caught up in the fun. This was a part of Trier's folklore. Lumen believed that even a formidable, high-rank, high-sequence psychiatrist like Madame Susie wouldn't be able to pinpoint the source of the commotion, identify the prankster, or distinguish the intentional misguidance from the innocent bystanders. You Trierians. Lumen could not but sigh. No wonder the April Fool's team held their gatherings here. It's like a fucking homecoming. Lumen abandoned his observation and casually singled out a middle-aged man who was using his rye bread to soak up the blood left behind by the death row inmates. He waited until the man made a dash for the exit, before quietly following. In a secluded alley, Lumen took a few steps forward, blocking the path of the man. "What have you got there?" he asked. "What's the purpose of this?" Lumen asked. It can treat illnesses." "Who told you that?" "I heard it from Guillaume, who lives across the street. He said that his co-worker's child got better after eating this kind of bread." Lumen regarded this as nothing more than a rumor. "Is someone in your family sick?" "Yes," the man said. "What did the doctor say?" "He said there's no cure, and I don't have the money to..." Lumen didn't press. He turned silently, allowing the man to pass. He moved slowly, retracing his steps back to the execution ground and noticing the market that was still in full swing. Lumen took cover behind the trees on the edge of the square, sitting in the shadows, silently observing. As time ticked on, the market gradually quieted down, and as the sun dipped below the horizon. Lumen remained hidden, keeping an eye on the departing citizens and vendors. With the arrival of the dark night, the execution grounds were deserted, bathed in the eerie light of the moon. "Chris, how's it going, man?" Soon he got sight of a dark figure leaping over the side fence and swiftly infiltrating the grounds. Lumen froze and pressed further into the shadow. The slender figure, adorned with a top hat, made his way to the area where the death row inmate had met their end, knelt down and reached out, collecting the soil stained with the blood. Could this be a Beyonder? Could this be an individual who believes in the healing properties of the blood? Before long, the man straightened up, holding a mound of the soil. Rather than immediately leaving, he ventured deeper, heading to the gallows. Under the moonlight, the figure buried the soil beneath the gallows. He seemed to scrutinize the plants growing there. In Tricardo Town, inside the Red House Cafe. Chris, I think you guys said 405 is like the next good place to end, right? Frank is sporting black hair, brown eyes, and hunting attire, placed her dinner order. Beef seasoned with coarse salt, red wine, fries, Fasac omelette, and quail bisque. Earlier in the afternoon, she had engaged in a lively conversation with a group of ladies who could sense the longing and desire in their eyes. Simultaneously, she felt someone observing her. As Franca neared the end of her dinner, a woman descended, the demoness who had tailed Franca previously. Without hesitation, the woman walked to Franca and sat in the opposite seat beside her. Yeah, exactly, so we'll read until 405. Franca deliberately assessed the woman's appearance with a masculine gaze. "Why are you here again?" the woman asked. "Tricardo wine is my favorite. Besides, I've heard there are female orgies here." "Who told you that?" The eyes of the demoness lit up. Franca looked at the demoness's face provocatively and said, "Once I encountered a nymphomaniac who tried to ambush me, but I handled him. He claimed to be a peripheral member of an organization called the Bliss Society. The core members of this organization are lesbians and are trying to connect with participants in the female orgies here." Franca wasn't sure if the demoness sect had any ties to the Bliss Society. After all, it wasn't inconceivable for organizations worshipping the same god, worshipping evil gods to form alliances to an extent. The demoness's expression changed, becoming more serious. Does she view the participants of these female gatherings as lovers and is unwilling to let me? She was reasonably certain that the other party had never heard of the Bliss Society, but had detected some signs. "Are you here to investigate, or are you interested?" the woman asked. "Both," Franca replied. "But if I had to choose, I'd prefer attending. How can people like us resist? Wouldn't you agree?" In this way, Franca subtly indicated that she had deduced that the person opposite her was a demoness who was also a former male. The demoness, now dressed as a man, seemed to resist this notion. What should I call you?" he asked. Or Franca asked. "I'm Brown Sauron. And you?" the demoness said. "Sauron? Another member of the Sauron family?" Franca didn't conceal her true name and said, "Franca Roland." Our party places great importance on the privacy and safety of all members, Brown said. We can't allow problematic individuals to join. If you are interested, we'll need to undergo an audit. So where should we start? Frank asked. Prison District, Roy's execution ground. Under the moonlight, the tall, slender figure in the top hat unearthed a few handfuls of weeds. The roots of these trees emitted an eerie blood glow. This tall man had a prominent nose bridge, fair skin, and impeccably groomed black hair. Clad in a white shirt, vibrant bow tie, and sleek black suit, he gazed with fascination at the peculiar weeds in his hand. "What are you digging?" A female voice broke. The figure who had been crouched looked up in astonishment and realized that a figure had materialized before him. This new arrival had blonde hair and blue eyes. How did he manage to approach me without detection? I didn't pick up on anything. I got an ad. Let's go, baby! Music change? Oh, thank you. Mandrake? From Harry Potter? Can I get my admin? Why would you need a mod role on the Discord? What? For what reason? The lanky figure, though startled, sprang into action. Rather than reaching with his right hand, which was gripping the weeds, he extended his nails, etching symbols and patterns. Darkness surrounding Lumion seemed to awaken, converging into the pitch-black chains that aimed to ensnare him. Whoa, is he a criminal? Because I thought this was something like criminals can do, right? That pathway? No, it's not that I distrust you, it's just, why do you need it? Two beams of brilliant white light shot forth from his nostrils, striking the target before he could evade. The tall, slender figure crumbled. The illusory chains formed of darkness disintegrated. Lumion, donning a different visage, grinned. You actually opted for an attack than running away. Utilizing Spirit World Traversal, he teleported to the target quickly, preventing him from sensing the impending danger. When they were within a mere meters of each other, escape or counterattack became impossible. At worst, both parties would sustain injuries. Hence, Lumion still had time for a greeting. It was akin to a phrase frequently uttered in the Research Society, encouraging compliance through good morals. That was it? He bent down to examine the weeds. Apart from their extraordinary spiritual properties, they were pretty ordinary. After some contemplation, Lumion hoisted the unconscious figure and shook him violently. As the target began to stir, Lumion released his grip and stepped back. Lumion suspected the other party was a mid-sequence beyonder of the Apothecary pathway, a Sequence 7 vampire. Aurora possessed substantial knowledge of vampires' characteristics and abilities, as the Research Society included two individuals known as Sanguines, whom bore the codename Headmaster. One of whom bore the codename Headmaster. Hence, Lumion deduced the target's identity based on his reflexes, nails, and dark shackles. Right, it was the fucking bomb that did this, yeah. Since he wasn't a psychiatrist and didn't possess any similar items, they weren't truly enemies. The best course of action was to simply talk. As the lanky figure regained consciousness, he sprang to his feet and scanned his surroundings. His eyes fell upon the youth. The other party had clearly demonstrated the ability to subdue him effortlessly, but instead of harming him, they chose to awaken him. The figure recalled the other party's sudden appearance and the peculiar white beams. He couldn't help but feel that even if the barons or viscounts of his family were to confront him, the outcome wouldn't be so swift and one-sided. Coupled with his arrogant ignorance of the two white beams, he suspected the individual before him surpassed his expectations. "What do you want?" Lumion asked. "Are you a vampire?" "Sanguine." "Which family?" "I hail from the Bruch family," the tall member said. "My name is Lanu Bruch." "What the fuck is this? I've never heard of them." "Ah, the Bruch family." He glanced at the strange weeds in his hands. "What is this?" "It's mandrake," the man said. "Did you come specifically to retrieve it? Because this herb holds some significance to you?" I said brooch? Are you pronouncing it like brooch? Or brooch? No, the name is giving me like German vibes. Bruch. 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 Yeah, it is. It is German. I'm not fucking wrong. Oh my god, I'm such a man of the world. Max Bruch, German composer and violinist. Ugh, a man of the world. I can just tell, baby. Yes, the lotion made from it can help withstand the spiritual surge during the full moon, the man said. Spiritual surge. Lumen recalled some details from Aurora's grimoire. According to the Sanguine accounts, after the awakening of the ancestor of the ancient species a few years ago, her reclamation of the authority from the goddess, all Sanguines became unstable during the full moon. This wasn't the madness that affected the mutants, but a form of sublimation. Mandrake can suppress the spirituality surge during the full moon, Lumion asked. A few Sanguine I've encountered seem to be unaware of this. The entire curly-haired baboon society was unaware. I believe I may be the first to have made this discovery. Mandrake is a plant that thrives beneath the corpse of the hanged individuals. It appears to draw power from some kind of earthbound divine influence. Alma, it's because English isn't just... The thing is, this is not even true, mind you, but a lot of languages have like simply one or two languages from which they originated. So you can make like a coherent set of rules for it. The problem is English is derived from so many languages and it has so many roots. It's so complex to try to understand. Like Spanish, for example, we'll have like, okay, we have like, here's like 90% of verbs and you're gonna fucking conjugate them this way, okay? It's like, you know, if it's tu, it's this, if it's vu, it's this, if it's, you know, whatever, all that's, like all that, but English, because it has so many languages that it's pulling from, those rules are fucking whack. So like there's just so little in terms of like hard set rules that like exist as like large scale things for English. It's just a difficult language to master. How did you stumble upon this? Lumion asked. At first, there were rumors circulating about the plant that grew beneath the bodies of the hanged being able to treat various ailments. Given that every Sanguine is an apothecary, I couldn't dismiss this, so I decided to give it a shot. I created a mandrake lotion and found it remarkably suppressed the spirituality fluctuations. Rumors again. Where did you hear these rumors? I don't remember. In Trier, rumors abound. For example, in recent months, I was concerned that reckless harvesting of mandrake by uninformed citizens may disrupt its growth. But new rumors have surfaced, and now people chase after blood-soaked soil. It's indeed a challenge to trace the origins of rumors in Trier, Lumion remarked. Why did you bring soil stained with the blood to the gallows? I've discovered that mandrake flourish beneath the bodies of the hanged individuals. While it's most effective, hanging people isn't common. However, using the blood of the death row inmates to nourish it, Mandrake can still grow, though not as potent. It gets the job done. Fire King! Ooh, but that's true of every language. No fluent speaker of any language has mastered the language, okay? I wouldn't say, like, I'm really good at English, okay? I speak English quite well. I write it quite decently. I read it, dare I say, quite well. But I wouldn't say I've mastered the language. There's no fucking chance. Who initially gave the Mandrake its name? Was it merely a rumor in the beginning? This plant has borne its name for quite some time. Though no one has discovered its medicinal value till now, it was primarily used as a spiritual ingredient in spells. Why haven't my ancestors, the illustrious apothecaries, attempted to concoct lotions with this? They aren't confined to traditional knowledge. They explore ingredients based on principles and develop new lotions. Perhaps they did, but maybe there was no surge at the time. Why did you refrain from reporting the utility to your elders? It could hold great significance for the entire community. There are still some issues with the lotions. I'm uncertain if the toxicity of Mandrake can be neutralized. I plan to verify this before informing them. Only then can I have a clear chance at ascending to the rank of Baron. What issues have you encountered? Lumion asked. Whenever I consume the Mandrake lotion, it's akin to digesting poisonous mushrooms. I witness an abundance of flowers blooming on the ground, with countless tiny dancing figures amidst it. I find myself covered in mushrooms. The illusions vary somewhat each time, but the recurring element persists. Unhinged. I'm like a year younger than you, okay? A Sequence 5 Traveler, or an item or similar nature? Without further ado, Lumion activated his Spirit World Traversal ability and vanished. A Sequence 5 Traveler, or an item of a similar nature? Lenu thought. Coupled with its strange white beam, such a figure was undoubtedly a formidable figure. You're older, Ankh? Younger, buddy boy. Younger. Don't get it twisted. $400, boys. Let's go. We're what, a third of the way through now? Listen, you guys are kind of being bums about this, but like we're a quarter of the way through the year and I'm a third of the way through COI. We're doing good stuff, okay? When did you turn 22? When do I turn 22? You're asking? In 4 days. April 13th. The street lamps outside the window had already lit up. Franca gazed at the brown Sauron and spoke. I've already mentioned my name. I reside in the market district and hold a significant potion in the Savoy mob. That's all I can reveal. You're free to investigate me as you wish. In any case, I have two objectives. First, I intend to probe into the Bliss Society and eliminate any threats. Second, to take the opportunity to gain insight into the Gathering. Her strategy for the day involved connecting with people genuinely, a tactic she had devised from Lumion. If a demoness approached her, she would confess her intentions and assess if the other party had any ties to the Bliss Society. Franca had even discussed specific details with Anthony Reed, a psychiatrist, to prevent herself from reacting excessively. According to Anthony's suggestion, she was candid, but not completely forthcoming, revealing that she was once a man. She had transformed into a demoness and was infiltrating the Savoy mob to join the Iron of Blood Cross Order and eventually return to her original gender, which would not only fail to gain trust, but also raise suspicion of ulterior motives. Thus, she only discovered her identity and primary sources on the surface, leaving the rest hidden in the details. You almost made me choke on my buffalo wing laughing. Why? What is this kid doing? Good shit, dude. Oh. Fucking A, dude. So good. For something of great importance, I believe you would have done the same. Franca replied cryptically, hinting that she could have also discerned the other party's path, approximate sequence, and circumstance. With that, she raised her hand to touch the silver-white earrings fastened to her right earlobe and grinned. I forgot to mention that this isn't my true appearance. My disguise is quite effective. Or why would you lose track of me last time? Browns nodded in comprehension. Instead of delving deeper into Franca, the conversation shifted away. Franca could discern that the demoness had placed significant importance on the cafe's female orgies and cautiousness. Are you telling me that you genuinely formed connection with some of the participants and have feelings for them? If this continues, you're bound to encounter some trouble eventually. It's natural to have some emotions, but seeking them in such gathering... Can't you separate the spiritual from the physical? When there's too much spiritual connection, the desire for physical grows. Conversely, that's also true. It's inevitable for souls to draw closer. This insight allowed Franca to grasp her first principle of pleasure to an extent. She didn't withhold any information. On the one hand, she suspected that the demoness sect had fostered such an innocent and emotionally driven demoness because they had their eyes set on the Sauron family. And on the other hand, she recounted the general activities and abilities of the Bliss Society. Upon hearing the name sex addict and its corresponding behavior, Sauron's eyes became serious. Franca knew that when to conclude her conversation. She finished her dinner, rose gracefully, and put her blue bonnet and departed. As she entered the rental carriage and returned to the market district, her mind racing. I need to persuade Jenna to move out, but having her stay might reveal my gender. I must remind her not to display her assassin and instigator abilities for now. The issue with CL is that if Sauron and Count Pufur Sauron frequently interact, they may discover that the affluent merchant's generous scion, in reality the leader of the market district's mob, exposing the Iron and Blood Cross Order's agenda. Yes, Browns is affiliated with the Demoness sect and doesn't share the same interests as the Sauron family. There's a good chance that she would conceal this fact and exploit it. Rue de Rossignol. Lumion teleported back to his safe house. While waiting for Franca to return lie to him and allow him to revert to his original appearance, he contemplated the rumors circulating about the human blood bread. It would have been manageable if I had discovered it from the outset, but now it's already widely believed. Hundreds or perhaps thousands have bought into it. Tracing it back to the source will be impossible. That mandrake is also a weird suspicion. After carefully considering, Lumion decided not to dwell. He would report it to Madame Magician and explore the possibilities of hiring someone like Madame Susie or a high-ranking psychiatrist to investigate. They were experts in similar operations. The matter concerning the Celestial Worthy was a shared mission of the Tarot Club. Likewise, Lumion intended to burden the major arcana holders with the other clue. He believed that since Loki was operating within Bureau 8, there was a chance that he had either subtly influenced some of his colleagues or been discovered by them. However, based on his experience dealing with the marionettist, Lumion recalled the events of the Alone Bar and the puppet shown in the basement. It wasn't as murky as he had originally thought. It exuded an aura of malevolence, obscurity, and terror. He suspected that one of the spectators in the marionette theater were in fact marionettes themselves, fitting the bar's name, Alone. It seemed that there was only one living person amidst the marionettist. Of course, this was somewhat exaggerated. It was evident that a few Bureau 8 members were working as bartenders and waitstaff there, like Loki and Leia. Nevertheless, Beyonders capable of manipulating an entire theater of marionettes were far more powerful than Loki, likely to exceed Sequence 5. Regardless of Lumion's confidence, he didn't believe he could uncover any clues in the bar, protected by a demigod. Only a major arcana holder could conduct a thorough investigation. Without hesitation, Lumion unfolded a letter and began reporting it to Madame Magician. As the doll messenger was summoned, it cast a glance at Lumion and asked, "Do you enjoy dressing up?" "It is a necessity in certain situations," Lumion responded. "No wonder you can't tell I'm different every day," the messenger nodded. Lumen gazed at the attire of the doll messenger, unsure of whether to offer a truthful response or a lie. My hair is smoother and my skin tone elastic and my dress is new, the messenger said. With those words, it faded away. Lumion sighed and muttered to himself, perhaps the more familiar I become, the less I notice them. It was akin to Franca, who had been so relaxed around him that she didn't feel the need to rack her brain on many things. If one had to rack their brains and be on edge all the time, their mental state would inevitably deteriorate. Seeing that it was time, Lumion left Rue de Rossignol and arrived at apartment 601. Who might you be? Lumion asked. Who might you be? Jenna asked, looking surprised. Can't you tell? Lumion scoffed. God damn it. I really want to beat you up and make your disguise useless, Jenna said. Where's Franca? Lumion asked. She hasn't returned yet. Lumion stroked Franca's mere substitution in his arms and settled into an armchair while he noticed that nothing was amiss. That was Jenna's spot. But do you have so many enemies? How many are there? She asked. The soul-summoning spell that caused my sister's problem was acquired from an organization called April Fools. They sold it to my sister. My objective is to locate them and execute them, one by one. How can I help? Jenna said. Your dedication to becoming a witch is the greatest assistance you can provide, Lumion said. Not only were the core members of the April Fools formidable, but they also had no boundaries. Jenna could only participate after becoming a witch and gaining the ability of mere substitution. Jenna observed Lumion for a few seconds and said, I sense you're more exhausted than before. True, but I'm also more motivated, Lumion said. Isn't this too intense? Franca mentioned a constantly tense string is prone to snapping. But they won't allow me to relax, Lumion said. They're determined to kill me. Noticing Jenna's confusion, he added, they haven't reported me to the authorities despite knowing I'm a wanted criminal. It's clear they want me to remain in the market district until they finalize their plan and make their preparations. Listen, I know I'm not going at the speed that I used to or that you guys would want, but honestly, given the speed that Easy's reading at, and I can't blame him, mind you. Honestly, at some time, if you guys want to be like, damn, like why are they reading COI so slowly? Look at Easy's channel, okay? God bless the dude. He's still reading COI, but holy crap! Like you see his views on like Shadow Slave, and it's like fucking COI video. Shadow Slave, COI video. It's like, ugh, why would you bother reading this shit?
Just no feeling of you. Give it to me, baby. Feel alright. I feel good. Just want you step with me.
Yo, they're investing for 2035. Fucking Christ, kill me, bro. From Loki, losing control and collapsing without being completely dead. Will you continue, Reverend Insanity? I will, Fire King, yeah. RI is gonna be after I finish COI. I will be reading it, but it'll be after COI. So it'll probably be a couple of months, but I will read it. I will read all of it in time. Assuming, you know, you guys want me to. Did you ever finish Perfect Run? Yes. Don't ask me what happened though, okay? I forgot. From Loki losing control and collapsing without being completely dead, Lumion had been vigilant about being reported by the core members of the April Fool's team and staying prepared for eventual surprise attacks. Loki knew that he was Lumion Lee, a leader of the Savoy mob. This convinced Lumion that the team had their sights set on him. They were reluctant to hand their target over to the authorities. It had to be known that a marionette sealed with an angel was undoubtedly an item that could cause Loki's strength to undergo significant transformation. Furthermore, CW may have a use for Trumi Boris.
I feel good on you. Alright.
Ooth, did you finish it?
Make a group all night.
The core members of the April Fool's... Aw, unhinged, look at you, what a good attack dog. You take your fucking order so well. The core members of the April Fool team were direct about this matter. They didn't bother concealing their mockery and malice, believing that Lumen could see through it and expected him to be provoked. When to make their move was entirely up to them. They wouldn't necessarily attack when Lumen had assistance. Jenna sensed the anger and hostility lurking beneath Lumen's composed demeanor. I hope these villains get what's coming to them. Lumen's emotions had been on an upheaval, causing the lingering effects of his near loss of control to resurface. What's wrong? Jenna asked. The mental trauma from the battle with Loki will take a while to heal. Do you want me to give you a head massage? Franca taught me. Don't be shy, we're friends. Her last statement was an attempt to divert Lumen's attention and alleviate his emotional stress. Why do you keep saying that? Franca taught me. Franca mentioned this. Don't you often say, my sister said that, my sister said that? She intended to say? Lumen fell silent and Jenna did the same. After a few seconds, seeing that Lumen didn't object, Jenna left her armchair and moved beside him, and began massaging his temples. Lumen's body tensed up. As a hunter, I would instinctively throw anyone who dared to touch my head or bestow them with a fireball. It took a lot of effort not to roast you. Did the provoker potion completely alter your language and speech patterns? Yo, why the fancy words? Lumen responded. As the two of them bantered, Lumen's body gradually relaxed. While enjoying Jenna's massage and revealing his headache, he brought up the pranks of Loki, I Know Someone, and the other core members. Jenna's anger flared, and she subconsciously tightened her grip. Easy, Lumen responded. As an assassin, she possessed considerable strength. I've never encountered such scoundrels in all my life. Damn it, why am I not a witch yet? How's your digestion going? Have you grasped the principles? There are currently 2 key points. First, instigation is a means, not an end. Second, the essence of instigation lies in understanding the core of the matter and the conditions of the people involved, not the use of the ability. Additionally, I've come to another realization. Instigation will inevitably bring about consequences. Not bad, Lumen commended. Standing beside him, Jenna lifted her chin and said, I find opportunities to practice every day, amongst theater actors and apprentices. Where conflicts are abundant, instigating someone forces me to consider who I want to benefit and who I want to suffer. Where do you think I might find an opportunity to act as a pyromaniac? Lumen asked. Trier is a place of basic order. You can only act on small matters. You can't create major spectacle, but there may be an opportunity in the pursuit of those villains. While you mentioned it, I wanted to set them ablaze. Lumen had an idea, though it wasn't entirely clear. At that moment, Franca opened the door. In the bustling streets of Trier, the night might lack tranquility, but the citizens living in those areas still found their way into slumber. Suddenly, a golden retriever carrying a small backpack appeared in his dream. A golden retriever sat at the dream's edge, gazing at the hazy scene. It was the excitement of pushing through the crowd and rushing through the death row inmate's corpse with bread in hand. The hesitation that came after believing the human bread could cure illnesses. The golden retriever caught sight of the figure who had initially informed the dreamer about the blood-bread rumors. It turned out to be a neighbor. And so the retriever traversed dream after dream, activating the corresponding subconscious memories to find the source of the rumor. After hundreds of dreams, the retriever noticed 2 dreams with clear contradictions. One belonged to a father who believed that he had obtained the secret, a human blood bread, from a warlock he had happened to meet, and wanted to use it to cure his daughter's illness. The other belonged to the child who had fallen ill, and just as they recovered, as if and then just suddenly recovered, as if the human blood bread was a miracle. The golden retriever guided the father to manifest the warlock. It was very ordinary and unremarkable. Scenes in the dream flickered rapidly, and the image of the warlock began to change. When their initial encounter happened, the golden retriever saw a warlock with completely different faces than before. Then the faces shifted, eventually settling into an image the dreamer normally associated with the warlock. The warlock's hypnosis could only be activated in a face-to-face encounter, allowing the dreamer to retain their first impression of him. Only then would they be affected by the hypnosis. There was no need to repeat the process of awakening the subconscious within the dream. The original image of the warlock naturally surfaced in the mind of the golden retriever. He had short brown hair, parted in a 3/7 split, flaxen-colored eyes, and a thin, freckled face. He wore gold-rimmed glasses on the bridge of his nose. Fire King, not the one you should be taking recommendations from, man. Sid, hello, how goes it? Exiting the dream, the golden retriever turned to Madam Magician. I've obtained a result. Give me the information. I'll confirm it. Madam Magician sighed. After a few seconds, Madam Magician took a step forward, causing starlight to manifest. It resembled a reflection of the vast cosmos on the ground. Little Susie is sequence 5, bro. That's nuts. Little Susie's a powerhouse. That's so peak. The resplendent and condensed stars spun rapidly. Kami, Unhinged is only saying that because she's over 18. The resplendent and condensed stars spun rapidly, providing a revelation. Once Madam Magician finished interpreting, she pulled open an illusory door hidden in the darkness and disappeared. In just over 10 seconds, she reappeared and said to the golden retriever, "There's no target on the street. The astromancy points to. Were we misled? But this also proves that you've seen the actual target," Madam Magician nodded. "Where did you go?" Just as she finished speaking, Madam Justice, clad in a white dress, swiftly materialized. "Where did you go?" Magician asked. "To plant a cue in the dreams of those seeking the blood bread. I've informed them that the Fool Pharmaceutical Company will conduct a volunteer consultation in Quartier de la Cathedral, offering free medicine and treatment." "When do you plan to hold the volunteers consultation?" "Tomorrow. I'll sponsor it," Madam Justice said. At 6 a.m. Unhinged, I said over 18, and I know English or math or the sciences really are your strong suit, but over 18 encompasses anything larger than 18. At 6 a.m., Auberge de Côte d'Or. Lumin naturally woke up from his dream and got ready. Before he could decide, he noticed the doll messenger appearing. Puzzled, Lumin unfolded the letter and saw a portrait. "This should be what I know someone looks like. We'll mobilize all the cardholders in Trier to search for him. You included." Lumin examined the portrait in his hand and chuckled. He hadn't anticipated that the Major Arcana holder would swiftly uncover the source of the rumor and unveil I Know Someone's identity. It made sense. Rumors had started circulating 2 or 3 months ago, and Lumin hadn't yet arrived in Trier or infiltrated the Research Society, and I Know Someone and Loki hadn't made any genuine threats. While it may be challenging for other Beyonders to detect these traces, Madame Justice was a high-ranking Beyonder of the Spectator pathway. She possessed profound understanding of I Know Someone's various abilities and matched him in every aspect. Even if this Major Arcana card holder didn't execute the operation herself, Susie was more than capable of completing it. Lumion knew she was at least a Sequence 5, the Psychiatrist pathway. Dude, okay, I was thinking about this earlier. Okay, so Klein obviously ended book 1 basically a grade old one. I know he's like a half grade old one, but he's basically a grade old one. Where does Lumion end the book? Because in my mind, he has to be like below or like within the confines of the Tarot Club, right? So he can't become a god. That would be crazy. So I'm thinking like he becomes an angel. He becomes like a Sequence 2. But then as part of that, when he becomes that strong, he obviously becomes a Major Arcana card, right? He becomes a Major Arcana holder in his own right. When that happens, what do you think happens the first time he sees Susie and he's like, a dog was helping me? Are you telling me I was so worthless you couldn't get a human psychiatrist to help me? You were just like, man, the dog will do? Really? What if she fucked up? Like, Susie wouldn't. We know Susie. Dog almighty and all that. But he don't. I think he'd be like, yo, what? Lumion caressed the paper and muttered, wherever you go, you leave your mark. One day, those unable to control their desires will be exposed. Taking the portrait, he knocked on room 305 before Anthony Reed. Keep an eye on this individual for me. He's most likely a doctor or a medical researcher. Lumion presented the portrait. Where could someone like him be hiding? He asked. I'm a psychiatrist, not a seer, Anthony said. You mentioned that he often exhibits extensive medical knowledge. In a gathering filled with pranks, the various details displayed by Beyonders of the Spectator pathway are what he wants you to remember. They don't reflect his identity and could even be misleading. I suspect he isn't actually a doctor, but possesses a deep understanding of medicine. Not a doctor. Madam Magician's letters also mention not restricting the research to doctors. Anthony Reed added, a person with antisocial tendencies and enough intelligence might have a fondness for flirting with danger. He enjoys playing with others like a clown. Perhaps it won't take long before he pulls another prank. Lumion had initially intended to locate Lugano Toscano, a quasi-doctor, and inquire if he recognized this person, but it was still too early. Saul de Grismel hadn't yet opened. Apartment 601. Frank had already risen and had received a letter from her Major Arcana holder. We can't involve too many information brokers in the search, Frank cautioned Lumion. I know someone might notice it beforehand and change his appearance or leave Trier. Lumion nodded and said it's almost impossible to find someone like this on Trier on our own. Don't forget, we still have Anthony, Franca winked, implying that they had all the card holders in Trier on their side. Yes. I'm here too, Jenna chimed in. Lumion tersely acknowledged her words and decided to proceed with his original plan to begin with doctors. In the afternoon, Jenna arrived at Avenue de Marche and waited patiently for the public carriage stop sign. Dude, I'm so hungry. Fuck. Oh, I haven't had dinner. There's no dinner, actually. I need to go get dinner. Fuck. This is so cringe. Let me see what I want to have for dinner. Hold on. No one wants to sponsor dinner, by chance? And there's 3 chapters left. Yep. Talk about your dinner in great detail. Yeah, I will. I'm so hungry. Dude, I'm so hungry. Holy piss. In the afternoon, Jenna arrived at Avenue de Marche and waited patiently by this public carriage stop sign. Today she had, I don't care. Without any makeup, her face remained fresh and her blue eyes held a sweeter charm. Jenna boarded the public carriage and headed to Quartier 7. Situated on the west side of Quartier de l'Observatoire, this district boasted a pleasant environment and was home to many affluent individuals. The now bankrupt owner of Goodville Chemical Factory once lived here. Quartier de Thermes, also known as Museum District, featured numerous renowned museums adjacent to one of the hot springs. Jenna was visiting Showy Diva, the underground singer who had once taken care of her. Showy Diva had been the victim of a rape by Margot and left the market district to reside in an asylum. After Lumion eliminated Margot, Jenna had approached her to share the good news, and since then had been regularly visiting her. Initially, Jenna had limited funds and was preoccupied with repaying her debts, so she couldn't do much. But when Lumion hunted the Padre, Jenna earned a substantial sum. Coupled with the 2 compensations and other income, she still had over 7,500 Vril d'Or after paying all her debts. Except the one to Franca, of course. With less pressure from Franca to repay, Jenna could now afford to allocate a portion of her funds to her friend, to send her to the Delta Asylum, where the facility's environment, doctors, and nurses were way better. She visited her friend regularly, partly to pay the fees and demonstrate to the doctor and nurses that this patient had family and friends looking out for her. Anyone who dared to mistreat her would have someone to answer to. That's sweet. That's genuinely sweet. Jenna disembarked from the public carriage, adjusted her hat, and proceeded down a bustling street. After a few steps, she noticed a 7 or 8-year-old boy standing alone by the roadside. The boy had a chubby face and was dressed in the attire of a young gentleman. Seeing the confusion in the boy's eyes, Jenna approached. "Are you lost? Do you need me to take you to the police station?" "I'm not lost," the boy sporting a Mercury bow tie said. "Ludwig? It's just that a lady who likes to drink asked me for a favor. I didn't know how to help, and it seems a bit dangerous where she went, so I decided to wait here." "Kami, what's up?" Over there, Jenna followed the boy's outstretched finger and realized that he was referring to either Quartier de la Cathédrale Commémorative or Quartier de Jardin Botanique. "Why did you choose to wait here?" "Don't what? What did I do?" "I don't know why. My instincts just tell me not to," the chubby boy said. "Could you buy me some ice cream? The weather in Trier is really hot." "Where's the lady who likes to drink and ask for your help?" Jen asked. "After I said I wanted to wait here, she went off to find a place to drink." "That's so irresponsible. What if the child goes missing?" "You can buy ice cream from this cafe," the boy asked again. "That way I can have ice cream and wait inside without getting lost." "What flavor would you like?" Jenna said. "Vanilla," the boy said. Jenna then spent a Vril d'Or to purchase a cup of vanilla for the boy. "Thank you. You'll be lucky," the boy said. Hold on. Ice cream! Will Ossepton! Oh, it's Will Ossepton! And the lady who likes to drink is Madam Magician! It makes so much sense! I didn't realize I was gonna do the voice. Oh, I missed it. Oh, it's so cooked. I'm sorry, boys. Oh, I'm so sorry I missed it. Matt, how's it going, man? It's Will. Bro, are you telling me we have 3 angels at least of the Tarot Club in Trier right now? Madam Magician, Madam Justice, and the fucking... I don't even know what his title would be. Bro, what? 3 different angels here? Oh, we're cooking. Jenna paid little attention to his gratitude and instead observed as the boy joyfully savored his ice cream and then left. She found patrolling constables and informed them of a missing child. Once she saw the constables had entered the cafe, Jenna continued on her way. Before long, she arrived at the Delta Asylum. Jenna had successfully met her friend. The former showy diva, like the other patients, had short hair that reached her ears, her face appearing rather ordinary. When Jenna conversed with her, it was easy to forget that she was afflicted by mental illness, but Jenna knew all too well that provoking her could lead to an immediate outburst. After chatting for half an hour, Jenna left. As she walked along the outside corridor, she gazed out the window. On the green lawn, around 20 or 30 mental patients strolled leisurely, lost on their own thoughts. They appeared like ordinary people. Jenna scanned the surroundings casually, preparing to shift her attention elsewhere. At that moment, she spotted a figure dressed in a blue and white striped hospital gown. The figure stood 1.75 meters tall, short brown hair, parted in a 3-7 fashion. I almost said farted in a 3-7 fashion. Gold-rimmed glasses, mostly concealing his flaxen-colored eyes. His face appeared notably thin, with freckles. Pacing back and forth on the lawn, lost in thought. This is I Know Someone. Bro, I have 3 more chapters to go. I'm so hungry. Fuck me, dude. Oh, I'm so hungry. Please release me. Seven minutes to do 3 chapters. You can fuck right off, okay? Listen, if you want to leave to go watch the bitch, you can, okay? I got no qualms. Jenna's instincts screamed at her to turn around. Her fear that the psychiatric patient suspected to be I Know Someone may catch her staring. She kept her composure, exiting the building one step at a time, stepping into the sunlight. As she left the asylum, returning to the same street where she had encountered the mysterious boy, Jenna left. Jenna let out a sigh of relief. Oh my god. Did Will actually save her ass? Did Will giving her good luck prevented I Know Someone from noticing her? Dude. In the evening, at 3 Rue de Bleu Blanche, Lumin, who had been summoned by Jenna, listened. Are you for real? Are you sure you didn't see it wrong? Jenna had only laid eyes on the portrait of I Know Someone that morning, and in the afternoon she tracked him down? Or immediately finding him altogether. Oh, that's also true. The sheer coincidence made Lumien's instincts tingle. That's right. Isn't this too damn coincidental? Lumien's Franca's demeanor changed. Though it had been classic move for an antisocial intelligent fellow to hide in an asylum, he really should be unlucky to cross paths with a visitor who had just seen his wanted poster. There can't be more than 50 people who've seen that poster. Why didn't I know of such a classic scenario, Jenna mumbled, but I stumbled onto him. Maybe I was just lucky. Recalling this morning, see if any other coincidences stand out, or if anything unusual happened, Lumien said. After nearly 15 minutes, she said, it's just fucking business as usual. There's just one thing. There should be nothing unusual about that, right? Lumien honed in. Did you say he was brought here by a lady who loves drinking? Yes. Lumien grew even more suspicious. Apart from a few dancers, he only knew of 2 ladies fond of alcohol, Madame Hella and Madame Magician. The former always carried multiple flasks with her, and the latter reveled in tasting various alcoholic beverages. Since the hunt of I Know Someone was a shared mission of the Tarot Club, and Madame Hella hadn't been informed, Lumien deduced that the boy had been brought to Trier by Madame Magician. Combined with Franca's question about Jenna's receiving good luck, Lumien believed the boy possessed extraordinary abilities and could bestow good fortune upon her. As Lumien and Franca fell silent, Jenna's unease deepened. Is there a problem with this? It's possible that your luck has taken a favorable turn today, starting with that boy. Such exchanges of giving and receiving were not uncommon in the realm of inevitability. For example, the enhancement of one's luck required the recipient to willingly accept the medium and derive some benefit. And there had to be some subjective desire on the part to complete the luck-enhancing ritual. There is no sequel. I've never seen it either, so I don't know. But it's good. But I feel like it's such a common trope that everything that you have a good first movie and then the second movie they'll just fuck it into oblivion. They're just like, all right, let's give no mind, no thought to what people liked about the first, but let's make a fucking cash grab, baby. The phrase like, I didn't know how to help, or I decided to wait here, or buy me ice cream and you'll have good luck, all had mysterious signs in the fate domain. That's right, Franco realized. Are you suggesting the boy might be an exceptionally powerful beyonder and granted me an abundance of good luck? But apart from encountering someone, I know someone, I haven't felt anything extraordinary. Maybe meeting him consumed all the good luck you had. I need to verify this, Lumion said. So most people think about COI too? I am most people. No, I'm just kidding. It's too early for me to make a judgment. There are definitely rough as fuck parts, though, I'm not gonna lie to you. Lumion made his way to Franca's bedroom and closed the door. He's gonna write a letter, Franca speculated. To Madame Hella? Another lady, Franca said. Lumion, who had tidied up the altar, promptly received a reply from Madame Magician. So that's how we found I know someone. Even as an astrologer, I find this charlantic. There's no need to doubt that it was indeed a helper we hired. We expended a considerable number of favors and a substantial amount of ice cream. Since there's a result, take action. I'll keep an eye on you and guard against any unforeseen incidents. Dude, we spent a lot of favors and a lot of ice cream. It took 7,000 Vorldor. No, way more. It took, I don't know, 100,000 pounds and 7 metric tons of ice cream to get him off his ass. From Madame Magician's words, he deduced that the boy wasn't a member of the Tarot Club. Hence, he wouldn't have participated in the mission without receiving some compensation. What the fuck's up with the ice cream? Why can such a powerful beyonder be moved by ice cream? Women found it absurd and amusing. This led him to wonder if beyonders in a boy's forms had similar weaknesses. Ludwig? Am I crazy? Ludwig? Having a weakness for food altogether? I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but there's something off about that boy, I'll tell you. Did you confirm it? Jenna asked. He's a helper with the specific task of bestowing good luck, and your encounter was orchestrated by fate. By treating him to ice cream, you were chosen by destiny. Phew! Jenna let out a sigh of relief. Let's head to the asylum now. I can't wait, Lumion said. Very well, Franco replied. Ever since Ciel's reply, she had been embroiled in constant battles anyway. In a four-wheeled carriage, en route to Quartier de Thermes, Lumion gazed out the window. Did Jenna truly spot I know someone, he muttered in confusion. They both turned their attention to him. From their hunt for the Padre, they had encountered 2 substitutes in succession. Do you suspect it might be a substitute? Franca asked. Drawing lessons from the past experience and expanding their awareness was critical. After witnessing the Padre's clever deception and failing to consider such possibilities, Lumion pondered and said, with his issue coming to light and the potential pursuit he may face, why wouldn't he be concerned about the pranks of the past? If I were in his shoes and couldn't erase the traces, I'd leave Trier as soon as possible. This suggests that either he has ample confidence, or he has something of significance to accomplish in Trier. In that case, resulting in shadows while presenting a substitute would be clever, right? Could it be that he wields lie or a substitution spell? He may not have lie, but the evil god he believes in governs the seer domain and ranks as one of the most potent faceless. With mastery of the corresponding magic, he could beseech this deity to alter his appearance, akin to how the members of the Tarot Club could summon creatures from the spirit world in the name of the Fool. Faceless abilities to create a substitute? Why didn't he just change his appearance? If the individual in the asylum is indeed a substitute, it implies that he serves as a trap and is using it to lure someone to lure us in. I know someone will pay close attention to the outcome. Consequently, either the extreme peril concealed within the substitute will not only ensnare the pursuer, but also cause a disturbance. Don't be concerned about the first scenario. With a formidable lady guarding against mishaps, the possibilities will depend on you, Franca. Late at night, in a room on the 3rd floor, a pair of gold-rimmed glasses sat on the bedside table. Suddenly, a shadowy figure opened the substantial door and entered. With a polite grip, the intruder shut the door, rendering the room impervious to external sounds, and the interior space was sealed. 2 more chapters. Oh, I'm so hungry. So you're 5.5 years old right now, man? Okay, if that is the case, forget what I told you in the in Discord. Okay, I can't be giving that advice to minors. One chapter every month. True. Lumion harnessed the power of the decency brooch, distorting the space and sealing the room. A patient's eyes, tightly shut, lost in a slumber. Lumion observed this figure who had no realization of his intrusion. As suggested by Madam Magician's letter, he is at least a Sequence 6 hypnotist, and there's even a chance of him being a dream walker. The conundrum now lay in discerning the trap. Beneath the faint moonlight filtering through the curtains, the patient on the bed snapped his eyes open. Lumion's image was mirrored. Simultaneously, Lumion once more glimpsed into the void, the dark and countless stars twinkling. A voice resonated in his heart and ears. Pass through it. Pass through this formless door and you will gain a transformative experience in your life and boundless knowledge. All who possess godhood can hear the voice of the world's origins. To hear it, you must open this door and step in. I'm so hungry, fuck. Sorry, let me just lock it. 2 more chapters. Dude, I'm genuinely so hungry. Lumion's head throbbed as he witnessed the gradual opening of the formless door. Once more, the voices echoed, its tone tinged with perplexity and confusion. Where is the end of the world? Where did the universe resemble its inception? What did the universe resemble in its inception? Which deity brought all of this into existence? What lies beyond the confines of the universe? What sets human nature apart from godhood? Where lies the demarcation between madness and reason? Lumion's head throbbed as he absorbed these questions, a fusion of knowledge and the pursuit of answers too profound philosophical queries. One more? Yeah, but I gotta finish this one and 405, right? Moreover, these questions triggered bizarre alterations in his spirituality. Madness surged forth as if probing the boundaries of sanity. The enveloping darkness seemed to take on a human nature, visibly writhing. The bed before him and the floor beneath him etched out bizarre patterns. Is there something that surpasses all limitations in thinking? Lumion found... Is this the fucking hidden sage? Lumion found himself powerless to resist or halt this transformation. This is what I have to imagine what it's like. The colossal dendrite appeared as if sprung forth from a divine realm. As a rumble, as silver's lightning struck the patient on the bed, Lumion was assaulted by a deafening thunderclap. The strange creature that had animated those thought-provoking questions convulsed his body, easing the pain in his head. A cascade of lightning surged across the patient on the bed, sending waves of agony and paralysis coursing through Lumion's skin. In the midst, though he stood a few steps away, in the midst of this electric frenzy, a holy chant ignited. I came, I saw, I recorded. A reader! As if he had been thrust into a mysterious realm, isolated from the outside world. Lumion exhaled and shifted his gaze back to the bed. There, he beheld the patient's entire form transform into a pitch-black charcoal-like substance. The body, still clad in the hospital gown, began to dissipate. On the surface of the shadowy figure, cracks materialized. Before Lumen could fathom this transformation, his vision was flooded with pure light. Once more, the holy voice resonated. When his vision settled back into normalcy, only then would a faint mark remain on the scorched surface of the bed. It's a trap, Lumen mused. He also deduced that both the patient and one of Loki's marionettes were recipients of the same evil god's boon. The substitute for I Know Someone occupied a higher sequence clearly. Had Loki and I Know Someone once targeted a secret organization that would worship an evil deity? The will of Celestial Worthy? How does this tie into I Know Someone's decision to stay here? A substitute? Merely a taunting jest? I know you're on the hunt for me and I am aware. Yet I'm granting you a glimmer of hope. These thoughts raced through Lumen's mind like lightning as he attempted to analyze his situation. Given the level of danger posed by the patient, Lumen deduced that both I Know Someone and Loki would have struggled to capture him alive. With Loki possessing a marionette of the similar pathway, it seemed clear that the patient hadn't actively and consciously cooperated. Leveraging his skill as a psychiatrist, I Know Someone had skillfully guided the patient, fostering a sense of trust and camaraderie, eventually reaching a point where he could convince them to enable him to perform a ritual and request a change in appearance. Glancing at the window, Lumen noticed the deep darkness had receded, and the moonlight filtered through the window once again. Conversely, the darkness that had been typical at the asylum intensified. Madame Magician had employed any additional abilities after dealing with a dangerous patient. She had merely concealed the entire asylum. It appeared as though she was implying that Lumen needed to handle the situation by himself. Lumen breathed a sigh of relief and began filtering through the matters related to April Fools. Slowly a conjecture formed. I Know Someone had been connected to the asylum, whether as a doctor, nurse, or patient, and stumbled upon a peculiar patient who had incessantly posed profound questions. Guided by CW, or Celestial Worthy, I Know Someone initiated interactions with the patient, and during this process sensed the presence of an evil gods bestowed lurking around the patient. Consequently, with the assistance of Loki, they had driven away these figures and gained control of the patient. Upon Loki's resurrection, I Know Someone, who had been alerted, had leveraged the patient's trust in him to perform a ritual and seek Celestial Worthy's blessing, resulting in a substitute and a trap. As for I Know Someone himself, he must have successfully altered his appearance. Amidst Lumen's frustration, he thought of something. Jenna had indeed encountered the substitute for I Know Someone thanks to good luck. But encountering a trap was unlucky. And this was unless they could somehow use the substitute to find the real I Know Someone. Both scenarios, or if Jenna had encountered both the substitute and the real one and failed to recognize them. Both scenarios pointed to a high probability that I Know Someone was within the asylum. Even if the trap failed, the pursuers would likely conclude that I Know Someone had relocated long ago. Within this revelation, Lumen acted swiftly and spun around and opened the door and sprinted to the asylum. In a commanding voice, Lumen bellowed his questions from the cosmos from the lawn. Where is the end of the world? Which deity brought this all into existence? His voice resonated through the asylum, reaching every room. A few seconds later, Franca's voice echoed. There's an abnormality in the doctor's duty room and the nurse's workstation on the first floor, and the first ward on the third floor. Lumen couldn't help but chuckle, pressed his hands against the void before him, igniting crimson flames. The flames spread, illuminating invisible spiderwebs that shrouded the entire building. Diligently monitoring the movements of all its inhabitants, this complex setup had consumed nearly half of Franca's spirituality. The flame transformed into 3 blazing serpents, each colossal in size, slithering through the webs to the doctor's room, nurse's workstation, and the ward. Bro, are you telling me we're gonna kill a fucking sequence 6 or 5 in 1 chapter? This motherfucker gets nothing? Yikes. Wait, hold on. I just realized. You guys are being so mean to me. That bitch hasn't even gone live yet. Fuck you. Goddamn, I'm a great streamer. Fuck you guys, okay? You guys want to go... You guys want to go watch her stream? I told her to delay. Mm-hmm. I think not. Yep, you trick bastard. The blazing serpents reflected in the eyes of the doctor on duty, the 3 night nurses, and the patients who had awoken. They all shouted in a panic and fled. Fire! Fire! Aw, thanks, Chris. As their voices echoed, the flaming serpents burned the invisible threads of silk, accompanied by a scorching wind, pursuing them relentlessly, blocking off the exits. The 5 of them acted normally, darting around and searching for an escape, wrapping themselves in blankets and attempting to force their way through the wall of flames. It seemed like Lumion had misjudged the situation, and the abnormal movements didn't necessarily mean I know someone. And if he continued, he risked incinerating 5 innocents. However, the 3 serpents showed no hesitation. They continued to pursue the doctor on duty, the nurses, and the mental patient. As the serpents closed in, a few of them began to show signs of despair. The patient on the 3rd floor halted and turned around. Grayish-white stone scales protruded on this once ordinary face, covering his skin. In that instant, he became a lizard-like figure. The grayish-white scales resisted the flames that aided him in breaking through the barrier. In an instant, he transformed into a horrifying lizard-like figure. Sensing this transformation, Lumen's lips curled. According to the information, Beyonders of the Spectator pathway would gain an ability known as Dragon Scales, an ability that allowed them to manifest scales on their skin. This ability closely tied to the Spectator's mythical creature form, a Mind Dragon. The appearance of dragon scales confirmed the dragon in the West Wing was at least a sequence 6 of the Spectator pathway. I know someone. Lumion activated the black mark on his right shoulder and teleported behind him. During this hunt, he refrained from wearing light and carrying the boxing gloves because the adversary was a formidable psychiatrist, and any openings in his emotions could be exploited. As Lumion's figure vanished, the fire serpents, which had expanded, abruptly dissipated. They transformed into glimmering specks of light that disappeared. Apart from the charred remnants of the various items, there was little evidence of the inferno they had escaped. On the 3rd floor of the asylum, Lumion emerged from a door adjacent to the West Wing, his gaze locked onto the patient. They didn't exchange pleasantries or make inquiries. He opened his mouth and shouted, "Ha!" An imperceptible yelp. Bro, I need a fucking Steam Deck just so that I can do Fus Roda whenever he does this Harumph spell. Because I feel like Fus Roda is the perfect thing for this, and I need to have it on deck. However, at the distance of 2 or 3 meters, the spell brushed past the Beyonder and struck the iron-barred glass window behind him. One of the hypnotist Beyonder abilities, it could hypnotize an enemy in battle, causing them to act irrationally or make incorrect judgments. Seizing the opportunity, I know someone's eyes widened, reflecting Lumion's male Aurora form. Lumion's head jerked back as if caught in a whirlwind. His emotions swirled with a mix of joy and hatred. Frenzy, a psychiatrist Beyonder's ability designed to trigger intense emotions and destabilize the target, causing them to enter the frenzy state. Before undergoing treatment from Madame Susie, encountering I know someone in this state could send Lumion into a spiral of madness. I know someone refrained from launching another attack on Lumion at that moment, firstly causing the other party to lose control or perish on the spot. a sight that could drive even Beyonders below demigods to mental illness and psychological collapse. Secondly, since Muggle's brother was present, it was unlikely that Hidden Blade wasn't far away. That spider silk would have ignited that was likely her work. In this dire situation, I know someone's first instinct was to swiftly exit the battlefield, escape Delta Asylum, and find a place to conceal himself once more. Okay, The broken arrow looked ancient with an obsidian-like arrowhead at its tip, adorned with mysterious powers. With a squelching sound, I know someone thrust the obsidian arrow into his own chest. The item sprang to life, absorbing the blood flowing forth. I know someone sprinted towards the tightly sealed door, leaving behind an afterimage. This was the arrow of the bloodthirsty. By piercing it into his chest and feeding it his blood, it transformed him into a vampire, granting him extraordinary speed, regeneration, and a few spell-like abilities. As I know someone pushed open the door of the asylum, he failed to dart out. He collided with an ice barrier that had formed. Amidst the sound of crackling and shattering, the ice wall crumbled, but it caused I know someone to lose his balance and fall. Most of the ice failed to penetrate his scales. Only a handful managed to breach his defenses. Thanks to the vampire's regenerative abilities, the injury swiftly healed. I know someone saw no need to rise to his feet. His eyes flickered and invisible waves radiated from him. A psychiatrist's awe, referring to dragon might or mass chaos, power to instantly induce panic. Relying on this to maintain control of the situation, he leapt up, intending to put some distance between him and Franca. He refrained from attacking her at this point because he understood that the Demoness pathway possessed abilities like mirror substitution. Trying to kill her would only delay his escape. Thanks, Unhinged. Lumion appeared to have recovered from the frenzy effects and used teleport to evade Aw's influence in the nick of time. Just as this realization crossed I know someone's mind, he saw Lumion materialize in front of him. Wait. Matt, is that your second account? Is that a guy with just a remarkably similar name? No, that's gotta be his backup, right? Yeah, okay. Dude, that's your second account. You didn't have to. You really... Dude, there's no need at all. Yeah, I'm so mind-fucked with Game of Thrones, I was like, coincidence? I think not. Do the bots... You don't... What, you could have done it with your main account too, what do you mean? If you guys want to... Listen. Wait, when does Volume 3 end? What's the chapter? Does anyone know? Because what we need to do is... We need to show... that would change name of it. Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. Oh, I don't mean my... Oh, you mean you're gonna change your main PFP? Oh, you for fuck's sakes, no. Don't do... 490? I have another 100 chapters? Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna try to get Volume 3 done by next weekend, okay? Because I'm home next week, so we can do longer streams, day streams, and fucking push through it. Because I want to show Mad what Volume end streams look like. Okay, but to do that, we gotta get... For me to do this, I gotta get Sal to promise that he's gonna be here for the Volume end stream, because I want to show Matt what bald Unk at its peak looks like. Okay, if he's gonna do this, then we figure we gotta show him the full hospitality. You know, we can do 100 in a week. Are you kidding? Yeah. No, are you kidding? It's not that much. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. If we can, yeah. I think he likes parts of it though, Kami, because I don't know. He really liked the ending of Volume 1. I don't know anything after that though, if he likes it. In the next moment, Lumine's figure vanished. He had employed Spirit World Traversal twice, almost simultaneously. How many months has it taken you to read 400? Remind me? Okay. Don't sass me. Okay. I'm just saying, I'm off all of next week, okay? I'm off. So I should be back home Monday. I leave tomorrow afternoon. So no stream tomorrow, by the way. And I'm not home, and I'll probably get home like Saturday afternoon. So Sunday we can stream, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We can do 8 streams, okay? 8 streams? That's like, we'd have to do like 10, 11-ish chapters a stream, but then we can do, we can do it, okay? So it's doable, but you gotta lock in. Almost simultaneously, I know someone's pupils dilated and a shiver ran down his spine. Lumine's destination was behind him. Lumine's figure instantly materialized behind I know someone. Unhinged. Listen, I'm gonna need a lot of stuff to happen for me to do 50 chapters. Can I do 50 chapters in a day? Fucking probably, okay? I want to be clear. But I could do it, but I need a couple of things from the community, okay, for that to happen. It's doable, just difficult. We need the stars to align, okay? We need, like, you know, it's a full moon. I'm gonna increase my sequence on a full moon sort of stuff. Like the stars need to align, you know? Too slow. Lumine harumphed, sending 2 white beams shooting to the area ahead. I know someone couldn't evade and was struck and was sent tumbling to the ground. Lumine breathed heavily, feeling drained. 3 consecutive teleportations and 2 rounds of harumph and other abilities had sapped his energy. If it hadn't been for the amount of pyromaniac potion he had digested, sustaining this level of expenditure would have been impossible. Franca, who had just recovered, approached and shook her head. No need for all that. It's not like you don't have assistance. Even if the major arcana holders hadn't been lurking in the shadows, and even if I know someone had managed to escape, wouldn't he have left behind some blood that could be used for a curse? Lumine didn't respond, making his way over to the unconscious form of I know someone. Or a monster reference, true. Dude, he didn't do like 40 chapters for Volume 4? No, I don't think so. I mean, he might have, because that was when I was first starting out, I think. Alright, boys. We did it. Only took, what, 2 hours? That's not that bad. Alright, that's it, boys. I'm gonna go to bed. That's not true. Fucking, I'm so sleepy. I'm so hungry. I'm actually getting sleepy now. I need to go get some food. I'm gonna genuinely fucking pass out. Alright, y'all have a good rest of your day or nights. I'll catch y'all not tomorrow, but Sunday. Look up Aura Monster before you sleep. Okay. Sounds good, Luvia. No worries, buddy. Next week, all week, I'm going to be doing day streams, so hopefully you can join those. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what your schedule looks like, but hopefully. Alright, boys. That's it. I'll catch y'all Sunday. Thank you so much for coming. Go watch the bum stream if you have time. Fuck early.